Hi guys. So I want to tell you a dream, but it's not actually my dream. This is my daughter's dream. She has very prophetic dreams. Since she was young, she's always had dreams that, come true, deja vus that come true, stuff like that. So how that all got started, I believe, is God's hand on her. When she was an infant at like 4 months or 3 to 4 months, she had craniosynostosis, which is when the plates of the brain fused together too prematurely, and we had her put on a prayer chain, and like overnight with MRI and CAT scan readings, she was healed. So I knew at that point God's hand was really on this child and he was going to do something through her. So that being said, she has a couple of interesting dreams that relate to end times. And the other thing you need to know is I keep my kids out of the rapture hype, the whole like date hugging and whatever. We don't really talk about it because in the beginning, like back in 2022, when I was telling them about these things and then there was no rapture, like it was hyped. Everyone was like, yeah, this is going to be it. They were just so disappointed that I could see it was affecting them. So I was like, you know what, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. And I just don't really talk about it around them. We talk about other stuff in times. We just don't talk about dates and date setting and that kind of stuff. I would have had her come and share this dream herself, but she's a big introvert and she's like a super good artist. So what I'm going to do instead is float some of her art by, and you can look at that while I tell this dream of hers, okay? And then you'll get to know her a little bit. So the week of May 10th of this year, she had a dream of being in an amazing home. And in the kitchen, it was just filled with all these foods on the counter, but every single food is food she cannot eat. Over the course of the past 5 years, she has lost almost all foods to eat. She's down to just a very few foods she can eat. So she was like, who is trying to kill me? Like in the dream, that's what she was thinking. And so then she started looking around and she realized that she was in a heavenly home. And then she was like, oh, well, this is cool. Well, the dream went on and, she was reassured that, in heaven she'll be able to eat all these different things that she can't eat now and she has to sacrifice. And I'll spare you the details of all that. But here's the interesting part. So at the end of the dream, right before she wakes up, she hears, rapture is soon, but it's later in the month than they think. And so she asked me, what do you think that means? And I said, well, there's a big flurry of excitement over May 15th and June 4th and 6th and June 15th. Stuff like that. And she's like, really? Because she's not in the loop. And so I said, well, to me, that means that if everybody, the collective, YouTube, everybody's like, yeah, it's June 4th and 5th. Well, then it's probably going to be later in June. If the collective is like, it's going to be June 15th, it's going to be later in June. If the collective is like, it's July 1st, it's going to be later in July. So whatever month it is, I would just say psychologically, just prepare for a few weeks later or prepare for the end of the month, because no matter what logic we all have, God knows the real time and God knows what's going on. Okay. So she had a different dream back in 2021, which was kind of interesting too. This one, there was war going on in Europe and the bombs are crisscrossing across different countries in Europe. And then there was a bomb that was heading to the United States, but it didn't get here yet. An angel raptured her. And at first she was like, what's going on? And then she said, what is this, the rapture? And he said, yes. And she said, where are we going? And he said, heaven. And she said, well, how do you get there? And he says, well, you go straight up to the sun and then you turn left. And so in that dream, she woke up, but like she was still in the dream in a dream thing. And in her dream, when she was awake from the first thing, then she asked me in the dream, what do you think that means? Turn left at the sun. And in the dream, I told her, oh, that means it's after July. So this was last June 2021. And then her dream said it's after July. So I asked her recently, you remember that dream, whatever. Do you think that after July part related to 2021? Like, because she had the dream in June and then it would be after July, sometime in that time frame? Or do you think it relates to this year? She's like, oh, I don't know. I think I think maybe last year. So I'm just throwing it out there. Those are two kind of interesting dreams that she had. I just thought I'd pass it along. A little encouragement and also a little like, psychological buffering, so you don't get maybe too taken up in the popular dates. Just, keep something in your back pocket. It might be a few weeks later. So just thought that might help. And talk to you next time.